Okay, if you're not familiar, I don't give a shit about Ice Spice, so this is definitely not a video about Ice Spice as an artist, but I did want to I subscribe to Kenya's Patreon, and Kenya talked about this. So as a person as a black girl living in Music City in Nashville, Tennessee, I want to talk about the music business for a second as it relates to all the parties involved in the story with the artists previously mentioned. I'm not mentioning any more names after that. I'm sorry. Like, I am just, personally, I think that Ice Spice is like the most unattractive girl that there is. Like, she's like the most unattractive non-white girl that there could possibly be. But here's what I've come to understand, and I made other videos about that. You can go search those for yourself. Like, I don't feel like I need to repeat myself. There are incel black men online in the real world who think that she is great because, like, they don't know any better. Their entire lives, like, they have been socialized to believe that, like, she is the bee's knees. And who am I to come on and, like, make their worldview different? There should be men who, how do you say, there's a pot for every lid. Like, I just saw, what movie did I see today, which I'm gonna make another video about, that had this quote. But the quote was, there's a pot for every lid. I'm gonna just leave that there. Like, the men who like her, they're over there. Like, I think just to let you know, if you are a subscriber who is like thinking that person is physically attractive, has immense amounts of talent, you see the good in that person where you're like, oh, this is everything right with the world, I just want to let you know off the bat, this is not the channel for you. Please unsubscribe, block, like, make a comment like, I'm so happy I figured out that, you know, we're not on the same planet. We all need to know so that we can go our separate ways, right? Because, like, it literally is like that. Like, the Camila Cabellos, the Ice Spices, the Selena Gomez's, they're all over there. They're on, like, Mars. I'm on planet Earth, okay? Like, that's what it is. We are not seeing the world in the same way. I'm not expecting us to. I don't expect anyone to shift. What I expect is for the people who see the world that way to, like, gradually transition over there. There's where you should. Anyway, so let's just talk about the actual points that were brought up. This is just me watching Kenya's video. It kind of summarizing what this girl who supposedly was, like, on tour with her, and she brought up all of these issues, and I just want to talk about this. So this video is about basically the music business, given that, like, music business things are, like, my bread and butter. Like, that is where I live there. Like, that is what I can talk about this for hours, for years. I have spent my kind of career understanding this. So like, this is my time to shine. Anyway, so first of all, it seems like this girl, I think her name is Ozzy O. I don't know. I don't even know the girl's name, but there's a girl she's a second opener or something. And she doesn't sign a contract, but she is going on stage before the opener, and she's going around this tour with the artist, okay? And so the issue that she's having is she has a couple issues. One of the issues is she's not getting paid. She has not signed a contract. A second issue is, like, all the perks that come with, like, kind of dignity on tour, we can call it that. We'll call it dignity on tour, are not being met for her. And okay, so first of all, if you are going on tour with an artist, and I have done a lot of, I will say, like, in-person interviews, just talking with other, like, local artists about how this works. when you're a smaller artist and you're trying to, and you are becoming the opener for a bigger act, how it works, how much money it costs to invest into a bigger tour. Because like a bigger artist already has a budget, right? Like they have their tour band and all these things. They have all the dates already set. They have to pay out money to venues in order to book the space, and the bigger artists are the ones selling the tickets. So the openers are just kind of there mostly to gain notoriety, to gain fans, to gain exposure. So a lot of the bigger artists who are inviting smaller artists to open are doing them a favor. But this isn't like free, because like a lot of the time, smaller artists actually have to foot the bill for themselves. Like they have to supply their own tour bus. They have to like pay for their own housing and food at certain locations. And so it like so choosing to go on tour as a smaller artist, as an opener, is a financial responsibility, and you need to have a budget to do that. And smaller artists who just have some general knowledge about the music business, I will definitely say that, given I'm in Nashville, most of the people that I'm talking to are college educated. So Belmont is a school in the area, which most people I know have gone to and taken classes and all this. So by nature of talking to them and myself having gone to like trainings at Belmont and then understanding these things for myself, that's kind of the way it works. Like if you are the smaller act, you already know that like you are responsible for footing the financial bill for joining the tour. It's not free, and you're not like profiting from that. It is sometimes like, this is kind of an interesting example, but I'm not really able to unpack it that much because there's not much data around it. But Chris Brown brought Tyla as his opener on his tour. But he like, at the time when he did this was like 3 years ago. Obviously Chris Brown is a huge artist, but like Tyla didn't have any songs out. Like no one knew her at all. So he was taking all of the financial risk for her to do that. But I feel like in this case, it was literally just like him giving her, 3 seats on the back of a tour bus with her crew of 2 people. Right? So it's maybe like on all of the things that he's already doing, he's probably got more than one tour bus going with him, just because he's such a big act, and he has flights, wherever his tour schedule is, he's probably going to have more than one bus. And in order for him to open for her, he only needs to allow like 2 seats on one tour bus to allow maybe her manager and whoever else, I don't know, was supporting her, right? And that's all that he needs to do. And then maybe like provide her a hotel room, which is a very small cost for Chris Brown. But like Ice Spice is not Chris Brown. So to expect like her to be footing a bill for a person and kind of doing the same sort of comp situation as him, like he's probably able to get her, a room in the hotel that he's staying at, and it's like nothing. His room is $400 a night, her room is $400 a night. He's easily footing the bill, and like she's getting all the amenities that he's getting as well, because like he already has a team that's financed. Like he has a security team that's going to take care of baggage, luggage, getting through entryways and shit. These are things that this artist that was complaining, she was complaining about things that there was usually an entire team to take care of. And just in my personal experience, given places that I've worked and things that I've seen, even people who are smaller than Chris Brown, they still have a team that supports, we can call it security, or I don't know, the entourage team. It's typically like security. They would cover things like going in places, exiting places, getting the things in and out, getting cars prepared. They want to get everyone who's in the group in and out seamlessly, because like it becomes a PR night, like a public relations nightmare if one person who's in the entourage is struggling. Like it makes the whole group look bad. So like in this case, this one girl who's like struggling, like it sounds like her and the hairstylist were like on the struggle bus. This doesn't just look bad for them. It looks bad for the entire like Ice Rice team, because it makes other people in the industry who could possibly want to work with her in the future be like, oh hell no, like I'm not even working with this broke bitch. Like this is how she treats her hairstylist. So do you really think that other A-list hairstylists who now see this are gonna be like, I'm so excited to work with her? No. They're gonna be like, fuck that, fuck her, like I'm not working with her. Like, do you see how she treated the other girl? Like, it is like the way that you do business is more of an indication of you than it is of the other people. It's not about the other people. Sometimes people like really believe that like other people's experiences are the like, how do you say it? The bread and butter of like the review of what you did. But sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes you are a more veteran person and you're working with someone who's more of a naive person. And so they do something and all it does is showcase their naivety. And the way that you react to it displays your seniority. And there's a need for that so that every other person in the situation, in the surrounding situations, is able to see like who knows, who's about their shit and who's not, just because of the way that they like handled certain situations. So there have been many times in my career when I have like looked at the way that someone has like reacted to a particular situation, like things they did, things they didn't do, ways they reacted, ways they had inaction, certain things that they how do you say, neglected to inquire about. It made me not just like, first of all, it made me feel certain ways. Sometimes it was hurt, sometimes it was betrayed. Betrayal is a major theme that I will unpack. I have another channel, it's about experiences for me in tech, where I unpack this more in depth. But sometimes it's the way that someone, the lack of reaction that enables you to see their level of humanity or inhumanity. And that is so critical to know. So I feel like in this case, you know, what more people should think about is the fact that if this woman, all the things she claimed, like she shouldn't be telling TikTok unless you're talking about this. Like, it's like TikTok and a lawsuit. Do what Cassie did, like file the lawsuit, write a New York Times opinion piece, be like, Ice Spice is a piece of shit and here's the like lawsuit to like get your money. But don't just like, if you actually did the work to go on tour with her, she owes you some money. Nobody goes on tour for free. So bitch, get your money and then we'll all support you and we can like share around the article that you have written or, you know, the interview with somebody else to be able to like understand the legal precautions that were broken that should have been in place, because that's the situation here. It isn't just about her, like, I don't know why people continue to make videos about she's a mean girl. Who gives a shit? Like, how's she not like even famous or pretty enough to be a mean girl? She's not a mean girl. She's a broke girl. She's like a ghetto girl, if anything. I mean, I really don't know. Because like even, I know a bunch of mean girls who still like pay their staff but do petty shit. Go look at a bunch of shit that Paris Hilton has done or like Kim Kardashian has done. I had personal experiences. A girl I went to high school with was like Kim Kardashian's personal assistant and has a bunch of stories from her, right? But like Kim Kardashian definitely paid her. It wasn't about payment, right? Like if you have the money to pay someone, you're gonna pay them. If you don't have the money to pay someone, you're not gonna pay someone. I feel like that's actually the bigger issue here. Like if she was supposed to get some money and if she was opening for you, she should definitely have somewhere to sleep, because I have multiple examples of Paramore, even in their beginning stages when they had no fans, where they at least got food vouchers for the places that they like performed, for them to be able to go around to other vendors with a food voucher and get like a burrito from one of the stands that's performing at the, like, that's a very normal thing. If you're a performer, you get a food voucher. So some of the claims that these girls were making were like they were starving. That is like, even that's like kind of unheard of, even in the music industry. So that, like, that's something that girl should have more onus to, like, what it even means to be an artist. Like, you need to have higher standards for yourself as an artist. I feel like this also just speaks more to, like, Black women need to just have higher standards for themselves in general. I made other videos about that, but just think about that. Like, in general, if you have a significant amount of standards for yourself, why are you dealing with, like, someone who's not paying you, who's not providing a hotel room for you? Just stop the fucking tour right then. If you're like one night, if she's like, I'm not providing a hotel room for you, okay, girl, just go home. Go home and be like, this is not the place for me. And also, to me, it's very strange, because I feel like everything I know just from hearing Kenya's interview about this girl, her Ice Spice's fans are not going to be this girl's fans. So what are you really getting from this deal in the first place? You're not even getting anything. Like, I don't make it make sense.